So now we will see for loop in JavaScript. So guys, basically the for loop can be used if you want to run the same code over and over again, each time with a different value. So guys, simply we can use the loop in order to execute the same lines of code multiple number of times with different values of certain variable. So guys, we will check this with the help of examples as well. Basically the JavaScript supports different kinds of loops. So we had already seen how the while loop and the do while loop works previously, but in this video we are going to check the for loop. It is going to loop through a block of code as many number of times as we want, and we are going to define it by using certain count over here. Apart from this, we can also use the for in loop and the for of loop as well, which loops through the properties of an object and the values of an iterable object respectively. So guys, these two for loops we are going to check in the upcoming videos once we cover the topic about the objects in JavaScript, but currently we will only understand the basic for loop that will help you in order to execute the same lines of code multiple number of times. So guys, basically this is the syntax. As you can see, we have the for keyword over here and then followed by the open and close parenthesis, inside which we need to provide the three optional expressions. So guys, the first expression is the initialization of the variable that will be used in order to loop through this particular for loop over here, and whatever lines of code that will be present in between the open and close curly braces, those will be executed. Apart from this, after the first expression we have the semicolon over here, after which we have the expression 2, which means at what condition the control flow should come out of this for loop. So guys, basically we are going to provide the condition over here in the expression 2, and the expression 3 will be incrementation, which means we are going to increase the count of the variable that we have used in the expression 1 over here. So guys, let us check this with the help of examples in VS Code in this case. So simply we are going to create a new file over here. So we have created for loop.js file in this case. So guys, simply we are going to define the array of names in this case. So basically we have this names and then followed by equal to operator, and then within the open and close square brackets we have the list of names that we can define. So guys, first name we have John, then we have Peter, and then let's say the third name is Smith over here. So guys, basically we are going to use the for loop in order to go through each element inside this array and print the elements of the names array over here. So guys, first of all, let us get the length of this particular names array. So simply we are going to define the variable that is length in this case, and then we will use the names, that is the array name over here, followed by dot, and then we have the length property. So guys, basically we can get the length of the array by using the array name followed by the dot operator, and then we have the length property in this case. Now guys, very important, how do we use the for loop? So as you can see, we have this for keyword that can be used over here. We also have for in and for of loops in this case that can be used in JavaScript. So guys, the first for option over here will simply help you in order to create the for loop, and the second for loop over here, which is the emmet abbreviation in VS Code, can help you to provide the expressions as well. So if we select the second option in this case, as you can see, we are now being provided by the initialization part, that is index is equal to 0, then index is less than array dot length, and then index plus plus. So all these are three expressions that we had just discussed over here. So basically the first expression is the initialization. So we have the let keyword followed by the name of the variable, and then it is starting from 0. Now guys, this particular variable, it should be less than some particular number so that the control flow comes out of the for loop, and that is what we have to define in the second expression after providing the semicolon over here after first expression. So guys, basically over here instead of the array we must have the names dot length in this case, and since we have already got the length inside the length variable, so simply we can provide the length variable instead of names dot length over here. So basically what it means is the index variable, it will start from 0 and then it will go up to index which is less than length over here. So what is length in this case? Length is equal to 3 right now. So basically 3 times the control flow will go inside this for loop and execute the lines of code that is provided inside the curly braces over here, and then in the end we have something called as index plus plus, so that the index number can be incremented. So guys, let us provide some console.log statement over here. So inside the console.log statement we will say name is, and then followed by the the dollar symbol, and inside the open and close curly braces, simply we are going to use the array name, that is names over here, and inside the open and close square brackets in this case we are going to access the index number, which is going to help us in order to access the elements of the array. So guys, over here simply we are going to provide the index variable. So guys, in this way the control flow will come inside this for loop. First of all, it will check whether index is equal to 0. So is it less than the length? Yes, in this case, since 0 is less than 3, so the control flow will print this particular statement, that is name is, and then followed by the name that is present at the index equal to 0 over here. So first of all, John name will be printed, and then next time what will happen is the control flow will come over here to the expression 3 part, in which case it is going to increase the index number by 1. Now guys, since the index will be equal to 1, names of 1, which means which name is present at the position 1, Peter is present over here, so the second name will be printed in the console.log statement, and then the third time the Smith name will be printed over here. So let me just save this file now and try running this code over here on the terminal. So simply we are going to provide the node command followed by the name of the file in this case. So as you can see, name is John, then we have name is Peter, and then name is Smith over here, and 3 times the control flow is going inside this for loop. That's because the length is equal to 3 over here. Guys, what if we provide the extra length in this case? So let us check that as well. Let us provide the hard-coded value of length is equal to 4 over here. So index is less than 4. So 4 times the control flow will go inside this for loop, starting from the index 0 going up to index 3 over here. So let us see what will be the output. Let me just save this file now and try running this code once again over here. So as you can see, name is John, which is at the index 0, and then we have index 1, that is Peter, and index 2, that is Smith over here. Now guys, for the last index, that is index is equal to 3, we do not have any name in this case, and that is why the name is undefined is getting printed over here. So since we do not have any fourth element over here inside the array which can be represented by the index number equal to 3, that is the reason we are getting undefined over here, and that is why it is very important to check the length of the array and use that particular length so that we do not get any undefined values. So guys, let me just change this back to the length variable over here so that we get the correct output. Now guys, apart from this, what is the importance of this index plus plus? So let me just show you after removing this particular expression from the for loop. So when we remove the index plus plus, basically index is equal to 0 will be the fixed value, and when the control flow is executing this line of code and coming back to the for loop over here, it is not incrementing the value of index, in which case the index will point to only the first number, that is 0 in this case, and only the first element will be printed infinite number of times. So let us check that as well. So let me just save this file now and try running this code once again over here on the terminal. So as you can see, continuously the same name is getting printed over here. We have to provide the control plus C command in order to stop this particular program. So as you can see, if we go up using this vertical scroll bar, basically name is John is getting printed infinite number of times, which we should be avoiding so that we don't use up the resources of the device. So guys, basically we have to increment the value. So either we have to provide the index plus plus over here as the third expression, or else we can also provide the index plus plus over here inside the for loop as well. So simply the control flow needs to be instructed in order to increment the value of that particular index. So let me just save this file now and try running this code once again over here on the terminal. So as you can see, all 3 names are getting printed once again over here, and it is very important to increment the variable that we are using inside the for loop. What happens if we do not provide the length as well? So basically the first 3 names will be printed, and then again the undefined values will be printed infinite number of times if we do not have anything that will stop the execution of the code that we have provided inside the for loop. So guys, this particular condition also you can remove and check from your side as well what will be the output. So guys, this is the way that the for loop works. Comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. I'll see you in the next video in which we are going to talk about objects in JavaScript. So stay tuned.